All right, 3, 2, 1. Stay gold. There's another one that's going to be pretty important, considering the objective and the mission, the journey, whatever you want to call this, right? Oh boy, this is one that I've been guilty of time and time again. I mean, the person you're hearing right now literally hasn't been on social media in 3 years. Now, I'm going to elaborate real quick because I'm probably going to make a video about social media. It's going to be a big video, of course. I think it's good enough of a topic to be considered a big video, something that you take notes on, you plan it for a couple of days. It's not something that you just do that I do on the spot, because I don't got notes or anything. You'll know when I have notes because I'll tell you. Unless, of course, I just naturally don't. Unless it doesn't come naturally, I don't really see a need to just say, hey, I got notes here, by the way, unless it's relevant or it just comes naturally, But in the case of like being under a rock, I am one of the good examples of being under a rock. That doesn't mean like good isn't good. I'm talking about to fit the examples that I'm trying to make and build the context, right? I haven't been on social media in like 3 years, probably 4, and what I mean by that is I haven't posted. I haven't looked at any social media stories. I have not seen, people's timelines, none of that stuff. I think the only times I've been on social media was basically to post for like things that I was working on, like different like accounts that I have or something like that. It was basically just like promotion. I'm gonna be honest with you. It was just promotion. It's just letting the world know, hey, I just made this right here. It's finished. Check it out if you feel like it. And then I get right off. I don't actually stick around and start scrolling. I have not scrolled through any feed or nothing in like 4 years. I'm not even joking. I know with this right here is technically being on social media, but I mean, I'm not documenting every single second of my life. I'm not doing timelines. I'm not posting, hey, this is what I ate today. I never really did that. It never really sat right with me. I'm not going to lie and say I've never done it before. I have, but it just never would sit right. So I just stopped doing it. The way I see it, I don't have a reason to post really. So I'm not going to post nothing. I'd rather every time I post it's something. It's worth looking at, Why am I going to post a picture of shrimp and rice? I don't even eat shrimp and rice. So I don't even know why I use that as an example. But the reason why I'm saying all of this about the whole social media thing, that's basically what living under a rock is. You don't know anything that's happening in the world right now. You don't know anything that's happening socially. You don't know any social changes that's happened. The way people communicate changed. You don't know any like upcoming events, anything that's happening around the world. Social media, you're blind. And the number one phrase you all probably are familiar with is you're uncultured. You don't know the trends right now. You don't know what's popular right now, what's unpopular. You don't know what sound is popular, what sound's unpopular. I developed my own sound, but that's besides the point. You don't know what song is basically trending right now. You don't know any of that. You're not hip to the new music coming out, nothing. You're just under a rock. And you want to know the sad thing too? When I do find those old videos of mine that I recorded, I really do look like a caveman. Full beard, full-fledged beard. So y'all have been warned. And I don't remember if my hair was twisted or if it was spiked. We'll just have to see, because I'm uploading them videos anyways. I already know what comes with it. I know. But I think the stuff that's said in those videos and the energy and the time period that I was in, I think it's important to show, because it adds to my journey. So when I make it, when I succeed, which can only be possible through essentially the community. I put these things out and then either it's received well or it's not received well. And I change my approach. So when I make it, you can see where I started from. I don't want this perception of me being some untouchable person or someone that can't be reached. Someone that can't be reasoned with. Someone that's not relatable. Like, I don't just want to come out and start making videos and I already made it. I want you to see every single step that led up to the staircase, top of the staircase. And guess what? There's another one. Now it's time to go in the attic. Right now I'm in the basement. I'm in the cellar of the basement, actually. I'm not going to say crawl space. That's a little too far. But I'm literally in the cellar. So the stairs you take down when you're already in the basement. I mean, yeah, I know some basements are called cellars, but still, it's like that room that absolutely nobody wants to go in. And then you got to get out the cellar into the basement, out of the basement onto the main floor, onto the second floor, then the attic. Then from there, it's time to go to a new house. This is just what I said, just like what I said about the racetracks. Just because you reach the finish line that you planned, it's time to make a new one. That way you don't stagnate and you get complacent. You're always going forward. You're always racing your car. The vehicle, of course, is you. The fuel is what you're putting into you. The effort, the time, the resources. The wheels, well, that depends on what road you want to take. But always keep a seatbelt and a good helmet for when things go bad. But I think when you live under a rock, right? The longer you stay under that rock, the more disconnected you get with everyone. I could tell you so many stories. I think the only reason why I'm not like entirely disconnected, and even if I were to like go back under my rock now, it wouldn't be like it was the first time. First time, I was shy guy. Straight out of Mario Kart. If I could wear a mask and that same getup that he had, I would. I was literally number one shy guy. Then slowly, I took it nice and slow. Took my time because I knew I had to. I fought through all the rejections, all the L's, all the mistakes. Now, if I go back under that rock, I got the knowledge now. So whenever I come back from under it, I can at least talk to people, and I'm not a weirdo about it. I'm not corny. I was awkward, corny, and shy. I wasn't a weirdo, but I was corny and I was shy. Corny's like, I don't know how to explain it. You know, it's definitely an outdated word by now, but it's like that person that's like trying, but it's just not hitting right. But they're not weird. They're just corny. You know, awkward is just, everyone knows what that is. But at least I'm in a point now to where if I were to go back to the rock, right, I could leave the rock again and I at least have a pretty solid chance. First time I left the rock, I was at like 10%. At least now it's like at least 50-50. It either goes right or it goes wrong. I think that's a good ratio. That's a 40% increase. Yes, you got the other 50%, but I don't think you're going to achieve 100% success, especially when it's social related and it's tied to the third stool. Which, if you don't know what that means, I already put up the intro to the 4 stools. There are more legs to the stools, but yeah. The pegs hold up the stool is you. And the pegs keep you away from the ocean. I said fire in those videos. It keeps you away from the stuff you don't want to be in. So, you know, if you want to figuratively say, you know, wildfire, figuratively say the vast ocean, go for it. But I think when you're pursuing your dreams, the number one mistake you can make is essentially just putting yourself under a rock or shutting yourself out from society. Sometimes you need that. Some of us need that like recharge or that disconnect from all that social interaction, right? Let your social battery recharge. You know, me personally, I don't think that isolation can be a bad thing, depending on the person and their mindset. If you're not in the right headspace, you do not need to be alone. But if you are in the right headspace and you understand yourself, you know that you're used to being alone. You know you're comfortable being alone. You know you don't have this need to be around people. I'm not going to sit here and BS y'all and say that when you are around people, you know, it's like this nasty feeling. Yes, you've got some nasty people out there. I'm not talking freaky. I'm talking just nasty. You've got some hateful, spiteful people. But you've also got good people, great people. People that want to advise you and help you. Don't turn down help whenever you can get it. Because it is so hard to get and it does not come commonly. Even if you're a social magnet, I mean, you can have people that want to help you, but like, I'm talking about actual help. Not favors. Not IOUs. When you're pursuing your dreams, you're pursuing your passions, it's all too easy to shut yourself off from everyone. This is why I said the balance. It's not easy. But once you figure it out, it gets just a little bit more manageable because you at least know now. You have the knowledge now. All you need now is execution and action and experience. You're not going to get it right more than likely your first time, your first few times. But through getting it wrong, you're able to learn the things that work and the things that don't work in the way that society's set up. Because ultimately, society is just made up of what people are believed, like what they're taught to believe, what they're taught to value, and what they're taught is good and bad. But yeah, I've made that mistake plenty of times. Even like, and I think the only reason why I interacted with so many people was just because I basically had classes. I had a job. I mean, you have to interact with some coworkers. You have to interact with some classmates, group projects, people on your team, your like division of management or whatever, especially in retail. I mean, right now I'm a janitor. I clean bathrooms. Yes, poopy toilets included. I have the videos. Probably gonna put them up someday in like some video when I'm like, I don't know, like going over every job that I had or something, and I like show my clips. But that's probably gonna be on like, I don't know, like Jago or something. But the point is, my dad often tells you don't get blinded by the forest of trees. I don't think that's what he says. He says something like that, right? It's similar to that, like that with a rock. Don't get too comfortable being under that rock, because the longer you stay under it, the more disconnected you get from everything. Even if you are a social media fanatic, you still need to get that actual experience. I'm telling you, you can watch 30 videos of people interacting with each other, and you know, videos where like vloggers or people talk to complete strangers for like 20 minutes. Then you go to do it and you utterly fail. They have the experience to pull that stuff off. That's why it works for them. You got to find what works for you and how you're going to pull off those same feats, if not equally or better. But anyways, yeah, that's all I got. Take what you need, leave what you don't. Turn to gold.